What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. As always, so glad to have you lovely folks back on the channel. On today's episode, we'll take a technical deep dive into the world of sportswear and activewear garment layering. And we'll be looking at it through the frame of reference as designers. How can we design our pieces within our collection for the purpose of layering so that we can enhance how our customers interact and engage with our products to give them the most cross-lateral use of the products, to be able to mix and match correctly, and to make the whole greater than the sum of the parts. So our entire collection just has that extra bit of oomph. And if you guys are interested in how you can design better technical layered garments, well, this is the episode for you. Welcome to Fittdesign TV. Are you interested in sports fashion, design, and manufacturing? Are you establishing your own brand? You're looking good. Anthony, how are we doing? Do you want to? Thank you. Well, you've come to the right place. Lights, camera, action. When we look at layering, let's look at the basics. When it comes to any layered garment, you're going to have your base layer, you're going to have your mid layer, and you have your outer layer. Your base layer is typically going to be some form of compression garment. Your mid layer may be some form of a relaxed, fleeced type garment, and your outer layer in this case is going to be an oversized outerwear piece like a jacket, a down goose jacket, whatever it may be. So these three layers give you an understanding of the categories of garments that you would be able to create within your collection. A typical layered garment could be and could look something like this. It could be a long sleeve raglan Nike Pro Combat top with a pair of lightweight running shorts with a built-in 6 or 7 inch inseam liner. That's your base layer. And then you stack on top of that a quarter zip fleece sweater. And then on top of all of that, you have a lightweight mesh lined waterproof jacket. Each of these three layers is proposing or is giving the wearer a specific set of functionalities. The base layer is giving the wearer functionality in terms of flexibility, in terms of overall shape retention, and lightweightness. The mid layer with its quarter zip is easy to put on and off. It's fleeced, giving it the ability to act as a thermally insulating mid layer. And then the outer layer with its full zip, lightweight, waterproof, and wind-breaking abilities is giving you climate proofness without adding extra or unnecessary mass and bulk onto the finished look. When layering, it's important to consider your three key climate conditions. You have your cold climate, you have your mild climate, and your hot climate. Each of these three climates is going to require a different methodology for layering. Your hot climate is going to require definitely a lightweight pair of running shorts, something around a 6 to 7 inch inseam, very lightweight woven shorts, maybe with perforations on the back. Probably at this point you will not have a built-in liner. Then you'll stack on top of it a lightweight tank top, perhaps a stringer. So that's your base layer. For your mid layer, you may have something very simple like a quarter zip made out of a medium weight fabric. This is something that you can use on an early morning run, maybe with an extended runner sleeve. And then if it gets a little bit chilly, then you have a very lightweight, unlined windbreaker, fully woven jacket that can be used on those early morning runs, and that's your hot climate. I would definitely add in gusset panels and perforation panels to bring in added breathability and versatility to the garment. The second is for your mild climate. So these are climates that could swing both ways. You could start off your day and it's very cold, and then during the middle of the day it's a bit hotter, and then towards the evening it gets cold again. What you're going to need here is the ability to have a thermally insulating mid layer that can be thrown on and off in a pinch. So the base layer might start the same. Maybe you have a lightweight pair of running joggers, maybe a woven top and a running or a knitted bottom similar to the Nike Tech Fleece or the Infinity Tech pant from Alphalete. Then on top of that you put a short sleeve lightweight seamless tee, something from Lulu or something from Alphalete that is very simple in its construction, but it's very comfortable to wear, and it's something that you can stack on top of without feeling sort of flustered or feeling uncomfortable. So those are the base layers for a mild climate. Then your mid layer, I'd definitely go for a full zip fleeced or interlock option. A great representation of this may be the Alphalete Athletics Elements jacket. It's a tight fitting jacket. It's made out of an interlock fabric, and with its full zip capabilities, you're able to throw it on and off in a pinch. And then on top of that, you may have a nice medium to heavyweight fleece hoodie for those colder and chillier mornings and chillier evenings. The last thing is going to be your cold climates. Here, we're going to need a thermally insulating compression base layer. So you're going to want to go for infrared yarns that allow you to keep heat, or maybe fleeced fabrics that are able to retain the warmth on your base layer. These are going to be long pants and a long thermal top. What you throw on top of that is going to be definitely a fleece or a polar fleece quarter zip or a full zip, as well as your fleeced pants. Your pants should be medium to heavyweight. And then on top of that, you're going to have some form of outerwear jacket. It's going to be a 3-layer, a woven outer shell, a thermally insulating down goose or polyester based insulation layer, and then on the inside, a fully fleeced or a fully lined jacket that's able to take the brunt of cold weather, that's able to take the brunt of windy weather, and it's able to actually put up with anything you throw at it. The next category that you need to consider when it comes to designing your garment specifically for layering purposes is what activity is your customer going to be putting these garments through. A hiking activity is going to be very different than a running activity. In hiking, you're going to be prioritizing having access to storage pockets. You're going to be prioritizing having access to modularity. Maybe you want to have your pants and you want to be able to turn them into shorts at that point. You will have to prioritize a wild swing in climate during the day. Maybe you start your hike in the morning and then it gets more, let's just say, warm during the middle of the day and then very chilly at night. So your hiking gear needs to be able to keep up with the changing demands of the day. Versus in running, this is going to be a lot more of a focused activity. You're gonna pretty much know between what time and what time you're going to be running and what to expect from the weather. You're going to want to go for very lightweight, very flexible, and very non-invasive layered garments. So a layered pair of shorts where you have a 6-inch inseam short, lightweight woven fabric with a nice mesh knit compression liner that's just maybe an inch or two longer with a built-in pocket. That's a great staple piece. Maybe you throw on a tank top over it, or maybe a lightweight compression tee with a lightweight non-lined woven jacket, and that's going to pretty much give you access to anything you need. When it comes to hiking, well, you're going to have, again, a base layer that is a convertible pair of pants that you can turn into shorts in an instant. Maybe you're going to have a thermally lined long sleeve that you wear underneath the pants. Then you throw on top of that some form of jacket that can be medium to lightweight, maybe 2 or 3 layers, depending on how extreme the climate that you're going to be in is going to be. And then of course, if you're hiking during summer seasons, having access to a short sleeve t-shirt that's breathable, that's lightweight, that's stretchy, maybe something like the Lululemon Silver Tech Tee, that's also a great option. As designers, how do we design our pieces so that they are stylish when combined? And this is a challenge that so many designers will face, because you can design a piece in isolation, or you can design 2 pieces for the purpose of putting them together. But when you start to look at the entirety of the collection, then you start to see a disconnect. Perhaps you have 2 or 3 pieces that have a bolder and more vibrant color palette. And then perhaps you have other pieces that have a more earthy and neutral color palette. When you put them together, there's a disconnect there. So it's important to look at your entire collection holistically and be able to merge your color palettes. It doesn't mean that you have to use the same colors across all the pieces, but be conscious of how they cross-contaminate or how they cross-relate to each other. Also, when it comes to the design details of your layered pieces, I like to stick with a more minimalistic sort of design detailing on my base layers. On my mid layers, I like to have easy in and out access, whether that's through a quarter zip or that's a full zip. And then on my outer layer, I like to have a lot of maximum protection. I like to have tremendous amount of actual layering in terms of my fabrics, a lot of storage, a lot of functionality to be able to zip up the front, to be able to put a hood on, and just bring out a lot more functionality out of these pieces. So putting all of these pieces together, you go from the simplest to the most complex, and there's a proportionality there. Also, bear in mind that when it comes to how you actually detail your garment, the base layer pieces are going to tend to have less detailed features in them, less cuts, less color blocking, less lack of uniformity. As you go towards your outer pieces, and you sure will have seen this through snowboarding gear, skiing gear, hiking gear, they tend to be a lot more ornamented. They tend to be a lot more out there, a lot of color blocking, a lot of layering, a lot of mesh layering. And this is by design, this is by purpose. When you put all pieces together, it's not overwhelming. The outer pieces, though are very vibrant, they are not overshadowed or they are not distracted by the base layer pieces that are also equally as ornamented. And when the tops and the bottoms of your collection are designed as well, they complement each other. If you have a design language on your top pieces, that design language is continued onto your bottom pieces. So if you're tending to go for more geometric cuts that are more horizontal, well, you're also carrying forth that language in your bottoms as well. Lastly, let's round out with some common layering mistakes or design mistakes when it comes to layered garments. And this is going to come down to the selection of the wrong types of fabrics. This is selecting fabric that's too thick for your base layer or too rigid for your base layer, or maybe on your outer layer, going for a fabric that is too lightweight, too see-through. This is a clear example of an inability to make the right decisions. Also, when it comes to the design, the functionality of the pieces, if you have a triple layered garment and you're adding pockets onto your compression inner liner that you can't get into, well, that also doesn't make sense. It shows a disconnect. So you need to be very conscious of how your garments are going to be layered and in which context they're going to be used. It may make sense to add a pocket on a compression liner of a short that's meant to be worn with a simple tank top, but it may not be making sense to actually do the same thing on a ski suit that has a thermal long compression liner. So this is something that we must bear in mind and we must be very attentive to as designers. Let me know, do you guys agree with the idea of layering? Do you see how you can put forth a better aesthetic and a better overall image of your brand by effectively designing garments specifically to be layered? There's a lot of upside to have here. Not only can you create a more holistic collection, but by creating garments that are meant to be layered, you're able to photograph them in different scenarios to showcase to your customers what they can do with your garments, how much variety, how much flexibility they can have, and that's going to encourage them to not only purchase that one piece or the two pieces, but maybe the entire collection, so they can get the benefit of the whole collection as opposed to the individual pieces on their own. Well guys, that is a wrap. That is a complete of this episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider smashing a massive thumbs up. Also, a little bit of a side note, we just launched our YouTube membership program. It's a way for you guys to get exclusive, never before seen content and to get premium fashion digital assets, to get access to me one-on-one and access to our Discord server, our community, to have a dedicated email specifically for you to ask questions to get your technical questions answered, your marketing questions answered. It's a way for us to be more connected to you. So definitely check the community tab in and on our page if you guys want to join. There's 3 tiers and I guarantee you, you will not regret it. Also, if you guys are interested in booking a one-on-one consultation with me and you have questions on how to make your next collection even that more effective, well, check the link in the description as well. I hold limited slots every single week, but honestly, it's well worth the experience if you guys have specific questions that you want me to tailor my answers to. So check the link and we can definitely hop on that call when you guys want. From the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.